Hey, this is Joe. This question is from Steve and Karen from Canada. We're Canadians looking to build a portfolio of passive income using single-family and small multifamily. Our goal is 75 doors, $300 a month net to us using 50% leverage. How much money is required on our side of the investing to achieve these goals? If you're using 50% leverage, that typically means that you're putting 50% down, so you're going to need all that cash to do that. Make sure you know what you're doing. I think that if you listen to these videos that I'm sending out, you'll probably understand by now that you shouldn't be using your own cash to do this. If you're using private money, you better know what you're doing so you don't screw it up and lose their money for them, because they're going to be unhappy with you and they potentially can start reporting you to different authorities. So find a way to buy these properties. And there, you know, if you use the for rent technique, the auto marketer, it's going to bring in so many leads. You're going to turn into some of these people where you can do subject twos. And we usually don't take a subject to deal unless we're making $300 a month positive cash flow on a property like that. Or maybe you go and work in rural areas. One of the techniques that we've been using in rural areas, where we buy these little $50,000 properties, but we would buy them with on a contract, or maybe we just get the deed and we put a mortgage on the property and we make payments on that property with every dollar that we're giving them towards principal, so that when you have a $50,000 property, you're paying $300 a month, it ends up paying it off at 7 or 8 years. And you own that thing free and clear. And if it's got $600, $700, $800 a month income on that property, which a lot of these do, after a couple $100, you're making $500 a month free and clear on this thing within 7 years, that will last you the rest of your life as the values of the property go up. And that's a beautiful way to do something like this. And you can build a portfolio in these small rural areas, or lower income urban areas as well, on properties that are under $80,000, $70,000, $80,000. And a lot of those places you can find properties that are substantially under market value, using the auto marketer, using absentee owners, using expireds to be able to get that to happen. So that's my suggestion. If you're trying to build 75 doors, that shouldn't take you more than a few years using these techniques. My guess is in 2 or 3 years you can make that happen. The likelihood that you can put together a portfolio of 20 properties a year is pretty realistic if you use these techniques. Now, during that time, you have to make enough money to live, so you might also want to be flipping some properties as well. So you want to figure out, well, how much money do I need to live on? Can I live on $50,000? Can I replace the income on my current job and start living on $50,000? Do I need 75? Do I need 100? Do I need 200? Where do you need to be, and what is it going to take to replace that? And once you get to that point, then it makes sense to build your portfolio. I always think it makes sense to do this stuff full-time. And by full-time, I'm talking 20 hours a week. You want a business that's going to be 20 hours a week, that's going to replace your current income that costs you 40 hours a week to do it, and hopefully make more money doing this business than you are in your current job. And if you'll do that, it's going to make it a lot easier. Now, listen to some of the other videos that I've got on raising private money and that type of thing. It'll help you understand it better. I've got a book on Amazon about how to find private money. It's $3. It's really a quick read and easy to understand, and I think it'll give you a little more insight on these things that I'm talking about here and help you get going. I'd also suggest that you use the auto marketer to find these properties. I know it's counterintuitive, but you're going to have a lot more properties to do it. You're going to be able to make flip properties while you're doing it, and you're going to be able to engineer these deals so you're doing multiple deals all the time, and be able to outsource some of this stuff so you can have help doing it without having to share the profits at the end. If you bring in private money, you're going to have to share the profits, and you don't need to. Once you learn these things, one of the things I talk about when people come into my mentor program, I'm happy to partner with people that are my students that have gone through this process, and I see that they understand what I'm doing, what I'm looking for, and I can put cash into deals. I a lot of times have resources that they don't have, and I'm willing to do that. But what I find is that most of the time they just go off and do their own thing, and they don't need the money anymore because I taught them how to do it without the money. So I don't have them, doing those types of deals. And then so I work with a few people that still, it makes sense, and we have deals that we can still do with the cash, and I like doing that as well because I don't like to do as much of the legwork. So I have them do the legwork and help them find the properties, and we split the profits, and I bring in the money. Anyway. Hope that explains it. Good luck, and I'll talk to you soon.